Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
It's me, Janatul Naim JP from Bangladesh, Corporate Ambassador of the Institute of Global Professionals.
And it's me, Arnok Dashgupta from Bangladesh, Campus Ambassador of Institute of Global Professionals.
The mission of this institution is to empower people from all over the world, especially the job seekers and the job holders, by providing effective training and consultation.
For the students, the mission of Institute of Global Professionals is to empower them to better their lives, to contribute positively to the organizations and communities in which they work and live. We accomplish this by providing quality higher education.
We serve students locally, nationally, and internationally through our respective campus locations and distance learning formats. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals.
People who are joining with us today, I'm cordially welcome you all. We hope that the webinar will help you to enlighten your knowledge in various sectors. Hope you'll enjoy and stay with us till the end.
We have already completed 15 webinars successfully, and our last webinar was on personal branding through LinkedIn. Today, we are presenting the webinar 16 on habits for success.
Today's guest speaker is Prem Anand sir.
Prem has great leadership skills with high EQ, analytic, and has strong knowledge in technical, people, and operations management. Obtained his master's degree in engineering business management from Asia E University, Malaysia, and certified MBA from Oxford Business School, UK. He is doing his postgraduate doctorate in business administration, 25 years of working experience in various sectors, and with his last position as operations director, Plant Head Thailand and Malacca.
He spent over 10 years in training specializing in process improvement, quality improvement, QMS, EMS, and soft skills, and with certified as lead auditor and Six Sigma Black Belt. Prem is keen to share his statistical expertise with wide experience in the applications of advanced statistical tool to conduct continuous improvement projects, leadership skills, management skills, technical report writing, root cause analysis training, and production planning and lean.
Highly motivated individual with experience in training small and large groups across industries and lecturing in universities UM, UTM, AEU, UTEM, UMK, and IBSS. Proven success in leveraging educational theories and methodologies to design, develop, and deliver successful training programs and integrate industrial technology to provide on-site and virtual training.
He has trained, consulted, and lectured students from various industries, universities, manufacturing, medical banking, public sectors, and hotels. Preman Sir is also certified trainer by PSMB HRDF, licensed international trainer MWS, Six Sigma Black Belt, lean manufacturing expert, process improvement and productivity consultant, doctoral candidate for business administration.
If you have any question during the presentation, please write down in the comment box. We will try to answer them all as far as possible. Today, we are happy to have him conduct this webinar. Let's welcome Prem Anand Sir to the Institute of Global Professionals.
Would love to introduce our today's guest speaker, Premanand Sir. Hello, sir. Welcome in Institute of Global Professionals. So we can't hear you, sir. Sir, you there?
Hello,
Yes, sir, we can
can you
hear
hear
you
me?
now. Yes, sir, we can
All
hear
right,
you.
great.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so you can see my screen loud and I mean you can hear me loud and clear, and you can see my screen. Hello,
Yes, it's all clear. You can, sir,
it's
resume
all
your
clear.
session.
Okay. All right. Okay, great. So okay, so we're going to talk about the habits for success, and let me ask every one of you: have you heard about success in terms of habit, or have you heard about that our habits actually can determine our success? Um, what we're trying to do here is to cultivate certain type of habits which actually cultivate our intention to grow. Okay, and the first thing that we are like to talk about is the be proactive. All right, so being proactive is something that is very important to us. Okay, example, if you are going for a work and you find that things are not happening, what are we supposed to do? All right. So, in terms of if you believe, do you believe in yourself? And you can believe that you are doing goal in organization. If you are in an organization, and you are thinking of having a project started over, and you are looking at things instead of complaining the environment, instead of complaining about the bosses, and instead of looking at certain things, do you believe that you can be a successful person in that organization? All right. Normally, when I talk about the success in organization, it's about what are you doing? Example, okay, first thing I'm trying to say is you can never if you are trying to do something without a support of certain things, and you observe that at one point of time you keep doing certain things and you're still doing it, and you need a lot of time of exercising the needs. Have you realized that before? All right. And in terms of time spent doing one things, meaning that you are taking away another time from the other. What I'm trying to say, if you are not putting focus in certain of our habit, meaning that if it is not the priority, but you are actually doing something else. Example, when we wake up in the morning, we try to actually do first thing we wake up, we look at our handphone. Does it really need time or really necessary for us to look at the phone? Or can we do something else during that period of time? Or even in during work, are we really looking at the job that we're supposed to do? Probably we're working 8 hours in a company, or 9 hours, or even a 12 hours in a company. But are we really spending a time or those value added process which we think we can progress in the organization? All right. So is everything important? Then let me tell you. You may say that I'm very busy. I'm very critical things. If everything is critical, if everything is important, then let me tell you, nothing is important. The only thing I could say is that you are not managing your time. You are really not managing the time, right? That's what I could say. And let's look at it. Okay, work expand to fit the time, meaning that you have to organize your time that actually fits into your schedule instead of you trying to uh, do work and you are chasing for time. So you schedule yourself and make sure you have enough time to do the accomplishment. That is more critical. All right. And motivation. Why should I have motivation? When I talk about habit, why should I have motivated to pay attention? All right. So attention means what? What do I say attention? Um, when you are in an organization, of course, you have a demanding workload. Demanding workload means things that you have to do, and probably it is piling up one by one, one by one, and that is a demanding job that you have to do, which is not avoidable, especially you are demanded to do probably multitasking. Example, prior to this, you were doing like one task, and now probably you're doing two tasks, three tasks, and you want to make sure you want to deliver the job, and at the same time, you want to do the job right, and you fix the schedule to do it. All right, that is the job demanding is getting higher and higher, because let me tell you, a lot of people actually going there without a job. So it is so critical when the job demanding or the workload comes, you are able to manage that kind of job load, and you're able to pay attention to the job. It's not about I have a lot of job and I'm not able to handle some that kind of job. All right. Not only that, at home, you say you have stress at home, work, and school. All right. It's not only us that have stress, but even our children, even our family has stress at home. Example, if you have kids who's going to school, let me tell you, they are also similarly, equally stressed, trying to get a good score in their schools, gradings, and also getting homework done. A pile of homeworks need to be done. They need to chase for activities, teachers' demands, requests. Kids do feel stressed out, and at home when they come back, parents are trying to push them to say, hey, you need to get things done, get works moving, and things happen in such way. So that is stress at home and school. And those that live at home and do not do work, housewives especially, they do have stress. The moment they get up early in the morning, trying to prepare breakfast meals for the kids, for the spouse, or maybe brothers, siblings, to make sure they have prepared food on time, and those who are leaving home for school or work are able to have sufficient food before they leave, and he or she has to prepare the meal for lunch and as well as for dinner. So, and at the same time, keeping the house clean, organizing the entire activity at home. So it is also stressful for ladies who is actually staying at home, doing those requirements. I believe it is a very tough requirement. And what does it mean? It means leading to burnout. Burnout means that you get stressed out. You have burnout. You are like down to drain. You don't have energy anymore. There's, I mean, loss of energy. You can't really have energy to move on. So you are drained out. You are burnout. You simply can't do anything, and you have no time to do anything. And you are in the mode of, or you do not have the mood to actually to be closer to your family, to kids, because you're simply too tired, and you really get stressed up. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to learn how to work smart but not harder. Right. Well, how do we do that? How do we work smart and not harder? Right. It is something that we have to equip with the skill, and also change our attitude towards things that we look at. It is very important to look at certain things in a different angle, a different point of view. Meaning to say that, for example, if you are looking at a problem, you don't want to bring this problem very close to your eyes. You can see this guy over here in the picture is actually blinking. Wow. And you don't want to get into that situation, but you want to get into a situation where you are able to assess or look at the situation everything seems to be very big. But if you're going to remove this object further from your eyesight, there you will see the entire picture. meaning you have a helicopter view, or if you are a football manager, as a manager you have a higher view of your players playing at the field, football field, and you're able to organize better when things go wrong. So you should be in the position of being a manager rather than getting involved in the entire issues and trying to solve every issue, everything at one point of time. So back off and look at the problem, and you'll be able to look at the problem in a better scale. All right. So moving on, we're talking about habits. All right. Stephen Covey has actually described seven habits of highly effective people, and building the blocks of powerful module for personal change. If some of you have actually looked into the highly effective people books, it actually talk about a lot of things. So, what is it so different from other books? In fact, I'm going to share with you those things that Stephen Covey or Dr. Covey has actually shared, the seven habits. These are the habits that I'm going to share, and I see how could they be integrated into your habits, right? This is one of the most powerful tool or model where Stephen Covey has actually shared. There is wonderful things that he have said, and I would like really to share those information with every one of you. Have anyone actually heard about Stephen Covey and know what it's all about? Okay, so let's continue. There is a saying by Aristotle: "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellent then is not act, but a habit." It simply means that if you are doing it day in, day out, a simple thing, it turns out to be a habit. Example, if you are waking up early in the morning, example at 5 in the morning, and if you do it every day, it turn out to be a habit. And example, those smokers, they have a habit of smoking because they do it repeatedly, and they get hooked up with smoking habits, which is bad. And it becomes a habit that they need to smoke every now and then. There is an urge to do so. So, any actions that related to repeated actions, continuous action, and you do it repeatedly, it turns out to be a habit. If you're going to realize things that you do from morning until you go to bed in the evening, you will realize that there are certain things or certain actions that you've been doing it repeatedly, um, which will actually it is related to your habit. Probably you may want to list down, hey, what am I doing at the early morning? What do I do? What time do I wake up? People who are early birds, they wake up early, and some just cannot wake up early. They said, I'm not a morning guy. I need to wake up a bit late, 7, 8, or maybe even 9, because I'm not an early guy. So when you wake up late and at 9 or 10, and it becomes a habit that you are always waking up at 9, and it is a habit that um, you can't change. You feel that, yeah, I'm a late guy, I have to wake up at 9, and it is me. It's just me, I can't wake up early in the morning. But let me tell you, that is the habit we have actually cultivated. And if you want to change or break that habit, you will have to do it daily, meaning that, okay, I want to break this habit, and you have to push yourself. You have to push yourself and do a different change. All right. And a habit is also at the intersection of knowledge, skill, and behavior. This was said by Covey, meaning that if you have a knowledge, you will tend to think, okay, what is the benefit of me getting up early in the morning? What is the benefit? So once you have this knowledge, you probably want to change your lifestyle. In my training, I have trained thousands of people, and I have changed people's life in motivating them and telling them how things could be if they could actually change their thoughts or equip them with certain knowledge. So once they have equipped some knowledge, they actually tend to think differently, because they have equipped with certain things, and they tend to act a different way once they have do the acting. Of course, for the beginning first step, if it is like very difficult to move on, But once initially they have started and things are done repeatedly, let me tell you, within 2 months they are able to do it. They are able to do it. And of course, the skill. Skill is something that you got to polish up. If you say, I'm not good at certain thing, of course, nobody is born skillful. All skills are to be trained. There's no such thing that I'm born skillful in certain areas, but it is a subject where you are trained and you have to polish up every now and then. And you'll observe that your skill is much better every now and then as you do it more frequent. Again, a repeated thing is something you do more frequent, and once it is frequent, it says without says without any discouragement, is that it is a habit. It is a habit, all right. And you talk about desire. Desire is something that, hey, I want to change. I want to quit smoking, and it is a desire that you want to do. I want to be a different person, all right. So what you do is, this is a desire that actually push towards certain habits. So now you have three things. One is knowledge, a skill, and a desire. Desire to develop new skill, new habits, a desire to change, a desire. So desire is something that every human being has a desire. And this desire, if you want to have, okay, I want to change my lifestyle. What do I do? Can I copy and paste a successful man's roadmap? So yes, you could, and you will have to do it repeatedly. It's not like I have tried for 1 month, I have tried for 2 months, and it seems to me like it's not really working, and I would like to quit. And that desire does not work. It does not work that way. A desire is something that you aim for, you target for, and repeatedly do it, and it becomes to be a habit. All right. So that's the definition of habit. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the 7 habits over here. The first habit is being proactive. All right, of course, I'll be explaining what is being proactive. And habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. And habit number 3 is to put first things first. Habit number 4, think win-win. And habit number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And habit number 6, synergize. And habit number 7, sharpen the saw. Okay, so I'll be talking one by one habit, all 7 habits, and I'll be explaining, and we can have interaction as well. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and I'll be happy to answer. You can actually chat and ask me or stop me anytime. Every time when I have a look at my chat, I will actually stop and probably answer to you. All right. So let's go to the first habit. All right. So first habit, we talk about proactive. So what is proactive actually? So it is look like it's a very common thing to be proactive. So what is proactive actually? What are the things that to be proactive? What do you think proactive is all about? What do you think proactive is all about? Anyone here want to try? What is proactive actually? Anyone here? All right. So let me tell you, proactive is something things that you want to do willingly, something that you want to do willingly, and something that you want to be successful. And what you want to do is actually, are you ready to do certain things? All right. Are you? Do you believe in yourself? Okay. So believing in yourself is something that something that you trust. I look at it. A lot of people actually do not trust themselves. Okay, the reason is probably they're not trusted. Probably the upbringing of their family, the environment, or maybe the physical. All right. Some people thought, okay, I'm not a big size guy. I'm not or some people think I'm very small. I'm not huge. I'm not strong. I'm weak. I'm this. I'm that. So These are the things that stop them to be proactive. All right, and certain times it's the family upbringing, meaning that the environment. They will tell, this is my family, this is my environment. There is always a stoppage in the family, thinking that they're not allowing you to do this, and and this actually stops all your desire to grow. All right, and do not allow you to actually proactively get involved in certain things. This is actually something that every one of us have to think. Don't just wait for your bosses or immediate superiors to say, hey, what need to be done, what things are not being done. You need to be followed. um, Things have to be followed up by you, meaning that the boss have to say, hey, is it been done, are we in schedule? We are waiting for things to be done. Okay. The most important things that I have lectured or maybe even trained in confidence. Or why do you have lack in confidence? All right. Can I have some question? Why are you lack in confidence? Anyone want to answer that, or do you have any question? Could you chat? Okay. How many of you are very proactive, or you think you are lack of confidence? Anyone? Any questions? All right. I'm going to continue. Lack of confidence is meaning that you're not able to do a presentation. You're not able to take certain roles and responsibility in the organizations, simply because you are afraid of doing it. And why are you afraid of doing certain things? Um, are you scared that people might see you differently or perceive you wrongly? There is no confidence in you. And if you have no confidence, let me tell you, you will never be proactive in whatever activity you're doing. And we are not able to successfully launch our desired activities. And in an organization, to become very successful in an organization, the first secret of the first formula is to be proactive. If you see a problem, will you actually volunteer or to be responsible in addressing the issues? All right. So you have to know that you don't have the surrounding. You have to know about the surrounding, and you also have to bother about what's happening next. What are you going to do next? Without this destination, you will never actually arrive, or without the goal. Where am I going? What is my next destination? So if you are proactive to identify what is my destination, what am I going to be the next, then you will start thinking. All right. Your behavior or your action should not come from your surrounding. That is totally wrong. It's not about who's looking at us, what are they thinking about us. Is that very important to you? Right? It is regardless of who say yes, who say no. Let go of those people who say you can't do it. Don't let the organization or the surrounding people actually control what you are supposed to do. You have to be proactive, really proactive to address certain things. It's not about the people, it's not about the surrounding. You can also, not even your family or your parents would say that you can't do it. Right. So when you say you can't do it at every certain stage, you can't. And what happened is the trust within you, the belief within you, you lose all those confidence. All right. That's where stop doing to be a proactive person. You stop being proactive. That is the biggest killer. Or maybe you have actually failed a few times before you actually have tried certain things. But let me tell you, my friends, failure is something, the key of success. Every failure, you learn something new to become better. Okay, if you know about Thomas Edison, who invented the light, he actually failed 1,000 times. All right, if he did not fail for 1,000 times, we probably have a light today. We probably cannot have this conversation today. All right, so we should be very grateful that he have learned 1,000 times making a mistake, and at the 1,001 time he had successfully give us light. We are very pleased to have lights with us. Similar things. The moment you fail, that is the start of your success. Do you know how many stepping stone do you have, or do you know how many times I actually failed before I could actually speak to you now? Right? Every success person actually has a deep suffering beneath it. Right? Beneath it, a lot of suffering. But what do you see is on the surface of the success of each person. All right. So to be successful, the first thing you have to do is to be proactive. Okay. A normal person. All right. A normal person is always waiting and waiting, and they are waiting for things to happen, things to actually come by, and waiting for opportunity, and waiting for people to give you certain things. Okay, I'm going to give you a promotion. I'm going to give you this. They don't voluntarily actually offer solution, suggestion, but they do expect a reward. So without being supporting the organization or being proactive or providing solution instead of expecting them, at the same time we are expecting a reward. Let me tell you, it does not work that way. Organization look at you, how proactive you are by providing solutions, because we are hired to provide solutions. It's not about the boss tell us what to do and we react and give the answer, but the boss is expecting you to be proactive even before the problem actually arrives to the organization or to the boss's ears. You are actually giving them some solution. All right, being proactive is the key thing of success. All right, all right, being proactive is now you are programming your life. All right, you're going to program your life. Nobody else is going to program your life. All right, you don't go and blame that I do not have a wealthy family, I'm not successful because of my school, I did not go have a higher education, I do not have this, I do not have that, and you keep complaining about things. But it's not about that, it's about you write your program. This is your life, and you're going to program your life. It's not about others who's going to program. Your friends are not going to program your life. Your lecturer is not going to program your life, and I'm not going to program your life. It is you that program your life. You are the programmer. You decide what program you want, and you write that particular program, and you do according to the program. That is the proactiveness that we want to see. All right. So to be successful, the first step, the first habit is being proactive. All right. um Anyone don't agree about this? Anyone don't agree that I'm not proactive but I'm successful? We don't have to be proactive. Can I see some notice or some chat? Anyone can actually raise up their questions, and I'll be happy to answer that. I give you a couple of minutes. All right, so now I'm going to look at habit number 2. All right. Begin the end in mind. Okay. What does it say? Or what does it mean actually? How can I begin with the end in the mind? Um, does it make sense actually what I'm saying? How to begin the end in the mind? Um, or how do you think that I should be doing it? Or what is it all about? What is it actually? What is it actually? Okay. Um, the end in the mind is something that you are able to see your future. Where do you want to be? Okay. Example. Do you have a vision in your life? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? Or how you want to be? Are you worth of your thoughts of your own? Do you value your birth? All right. Am I in the same class of what I want to be? Do I have a vision? Is this world organized in such a way that I'm not entitled for what I'm supposed to have? Right. You are here to understand. You are here to create a history, a legend. Can you be a legend? Can you create history? What you want in the end? Example, I'm going to give you a a good example or a simple example. What I'm trying to say, example, if you want to travel and you want to travel to overseas, example, maybe you are in, for me, I'm in Malaysia. Probably from Malaysia, I want to travel to UK. So what do I do? I have to plan my journey at UK. What am I going to do? Because that is my destination. And how long I'm going to stay there, and what kind of activity I'm going to have, who am I going to meet, where am I going to stay, what kind of transportation I'm going to have. All those details are already in my mind, and I'm planning those things already. All right. Without those details, if I just say, okay, I'm going to UK and I'm just going to go, and what is going to happen when I arrive in UK? People will be looking at me, or I will be lost in UK. I have no direction in UK. Things going to be very tough for me because I'm not organized. I'm totally not organized. All right. Again, if you want to have a garden, all right. I want you to imagine you're going to have a garden, and you actually think what kind of plants you're going to have in a garden, and how am I going to have those landscape laid on the garden. All right, so now you start to imagine how the garden is going to be, how big is my garden, type of plants, how am I going to walk in the garden, or how am I going to spend time in the garden. All right, so now you have actually planned what you're going to do. So it is more like a planning. What is that you're going to achieve. All right, why we should actually adapt to such a behavior or such a habit? Because if you do not have such habit in planning of your personal performance, or you have a mission of what you're going to achieve, how are you actually going to reach the destination that you're supposed to reach? Um, I'm going to give you an example of a video that I recently saw about Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do you all know who's Arnold Schwarzenegger? Probably you have seen him in movie Terminator, Canon the Barbarian, and he was also a governor in US. Okay, so how did he actually started? He was originated from Austria, and he was a farmer. His family was a farmer, and he had a dream. He had a huge dream. He told his parents that I didn't want to become a farmer at all, and this is not my dream. But the parents insisted that you have to be a farmer. This is where we live, and this is your land. This is what you do. And but this vision was their parents' vision, not Arnold's vision. And Arnold had a different thing. he was looking at the TV and he saw US was such a, remarkable place. Those skyscrapers, high buildings, big roads, lifestyle was different. He wanted to get rich. He wanted to become millionaire. He wanted to earn more. He wanted to become famous. Um, and during his way to school, he saw one picture where this guy, I can't really remember his name. He was a bodybuilder and he was in the movies. And when he was wearing the I know what exactly I want to do. I want to become him and get into movie in US. And this is what he wanted to do. And now what I'm trying to say here is he knows exactly what he wanted. And Arnold started to work out. And he worked out about 5 to 6 hours daily, building up his body. And do you know, at the age of 20, he was the youngest Mr. Universe in the world. He was the first one to be the youngest Mr. Universe. Can you imagine how much effort and work he has done? And this is the habit because he's doing it repeatedly without failure. Some of us say we want to lose weight, we want to lose those fats from our body, but we do not do it consistently. We say, okay, today I'm busy, I'm going to skip my exercise. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to do this because we have all type of excuse to break our habit. Habit is not about breaking the habit, but habit is about doing it repeatedly. Right? So let me get back to Arnold Schwarzenegger now. All right. So he wanted to act in a movie. All right. So he took his own movie because once he won the title, he took his own movie, and the first few movie actually failed miserably. Everything was in the dustbin. All right. So now he did not give up. He still tried. He still tried and tried and tried. And, and Universal Picture actually called him and to act in Canon the Barbarian. And this movie was actually a big hit. It was very successful. And do you know that his body at that time was the asset for the movie? The movie director said during the conference call during the movie launch, he was saying that if without the without Arnold's body, this movie would not actually take off. So Arnold's body was actually asset for the movie. All right, can you imagine that his body could actually bring so much weight for the movie, and the movie become very very successful. This is what we are looking at. All right, next he went into politics. He became a governor. All right, and he worked throughout it. He never thought that he could be a governor. He wanted to become the president of the United States, but he was started off of being a governor, and he was successfully a governor of United States. Can you imagine someone from Australia become so successful as a Mr. Universe? He acted in a movie. All right, after that he went to Terminator. All right, Terminator. You know that it is another success movie for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and his accent, Australian accent, actually was an asset for um, Terminator, and it's another success. So again, people said, okay, your accent is actually an asset for the Terminator movie. So it turned out to be a plus point rather than a negative point. So regardless of how you look or how you are, it does not matter. What matters is, do you have a vision where you want to be? That is all matters. That is all what it matters. It does not matter who you are, what you are, where you are, but do you have the vision where you want to be? At the end of the day or at the end of the story, are you there? So could you now actually imagine that you know where you are going at the end of the day? But let me tell you, most of us do not know what is our next step. All right, what am I going to do? Where am I going to do? What they're just hoping that the organization will give them everything. they're expecting for promotion. They're expecting that while working, I can become very successful. But let me tell you, how many of you actually become very successful in organization? Why don't you have your own vision? What is your mission? Where do you want to be? Why not start something new? Why don't look next 5 to 10 years? What do you want to be? Do you want to become a politician? Do you want to become a sportsman? Do you want to become an actor? Or do you want to be a singer? Or do you want to become a consultant, trainer, whatever you want to be, a doctor, a lawyer, engineer? What do you want to be? Start now. What are the things that you need to prepare? Work out very hard. Work out day and night. Work out for hours consistently. Think that what you want. All right. So this is the habit number 2, having the vision of what you want to be. And this has to be cultivated as a habit, because why? Without being this as a habit, you will never know where do you want to land. So you must know your landing position. All right. Where do you want to land? Let me tell you, my friends, I want you to now imagine with me together. All right. Imagine that you're walking into a hall. All right. If you want to close your eyes, do close your eyes. All right. All you know is now you're closing your eyes and you're walking. Someone is actually holding your hands. You're entering a stage. You can hear a large crowd calling upon your name. You're slowly walking. You can feel the heat. All right. Now you're walking up to the staircase of the stage. Everybody chanting your name. And you can feel the blood actually pumping on you. Your heartbeat is getting stronger and stronger. And now you're opening your eyes and you see a huge crowd to celebrate your success. And they say you are the best achieved in this activity or this organization. People are there to actually appreciate your organization. They want to actually follow your footsteps. All right. This is the feeling. I want you to dream every day. What do you want to achieve? And work out through that. Plan yourself. What do you want to do? Habit 2 is about planning. Do you have a plan? Do you have a personal mission? Please write down your mission. What do you want to do this year, next year, and the following year, the next 10 years? What do you want to do? All right. What kind of roles you want to take? The various roles you want to take. It is very, very crucial. All right. All right. So this is what habit number 2 is all about. It's very crucial, and understand what you really want and what you really want to do. Okay. Any questions or anything that you want to ask? Please do so. I'll be free, or I'll be very happy to actually answer you. All right. So I'm going to go to habit number 3. It's about put first things first. Okay. So what is put first thing first? What is it all about? I believe you can see my screen. It's like it's a super lady over there. Um, uh, can I ask you to actually put down a list of things that you think which is very important? What is important to you? What does really matters to you? If you have a paper and a pen, or probably in your mind, what is so important to you? What is so critical to you? Um, is that your family? Is that your work? Is that your professional things? What is very important? What does really matters to you? I believe most of us will say my career is very important. Some may say my family is very important. All right, let's imagine you are putting a rock into a jar. All right, big rocks, big rocks. And after putting big rocks into a jar, fill up the the jug with the rocks, and you definitely have some space. Now you will try to put actually those little stones inside. Right? You can definitely put those simple stones. And can you imagine that small stones are going into the jar? Could you fill in more things? Of course you do. You can now put in more sands because there's more space for sands to go in. All right, you have space for that. All right, after you have filled up your jar with sands, I mean sand, S-A-N-D, yeah, sand. When you put in the sand, of course you will have, you will feel that it is almost full, but is that really full? Okay. Now I want you to pour some water into the jar, and can the water go in now? All right. The answer is yes. Definitely, the water can go in because the water will fill up the other spaces. All right, the other spaces of the jar. All right. So now let me ask you: the big stone represents what? What is the big stone? What does it represent actually? The stones. All right, the stones is the most important thing that alive. Example, your family. All right, if you remove the big stone away, does your life will be is your life or is your environment more meaningful? Okay, or can we put it the other way around? Can we fill up the jar with water first? Okay, let's imagine we are pouring the water. Now we are filling up with the sand. Now we are filling up with the small stones. Now we are putting a big stone, a few of the big stone. Could you imagine that the water will take the space off at the below? When you put the sand, it's going to take another space off. And when you put the small pebbles inside, it's going to take another surface ball. And let me tell you, there's no room for you to actually fill up the stones. All right, so now I'm going to show you a video. All right, give me a second. I'm going to show you some videos. Could you see my video? All right. Okay, we have seen the life of Jar. What did we actually learn from there? The first, what is your priority, family or job? Okay, that is the question now. What is a priority now? Um, anyone want to answer? So it depends on. Does it depends on job or is it depends on an individual? All right. What does it really matter of that? Okay, a priority for any human being is definitely a family first. All right, a family must be given the first priority because a job that you do, it could go away anytime from you. You could lose a job anytime. You could lose a business anytime. You can lose your money anytime. But it is so painful to lose a family. All right. So your first priority is always your family. A priority of your family first. All right. So even you know that what is your milestone plan. Remember, we are talking about habit number 2. All right. What was habit number 2? All right. What was habit number 2? Right. You have a vision that you want to go to your vision. All right. And now you're looking at those things that put what is first. So now, as I said, habit number 2 is you want to run the program that you have desired. All right. You are a programmer. Habit number 2, you're writing the program. And habit number 3, you want to run the program. How do you want to run the program? All right. Okay. So it could be also, is it that what is the priority? Is it learning or learning or earning? What is priority now? All right. For some people, maybe the learning is priority, or some people is earning priority. So which is important to you? What do you think? My suggestion is you learn first. Without learning, how are you going to actually perform in a job? All right. You have sufficient knowledge. You must have sufficient knowledge. Without this knowledge, you actually ending up in a disaster terms because why? You assume that you know things and you assume that you're able to handle certain things. So in the bottle of jar of life, you actually you have family first priority because you can lose everything, but you don't want to lose your family. That is the last thing you want to lose. All right, and you want to equip yourself with knowledge. Without knowledge, let me tell you, your earning is not going to be that big because why? You do not know actually how to earn. All right, the learning process is one of the most important things. All right, next, putting first thing first is actually, do you have a leadership? All right, leadership meaning that a leader actually defines what is the most important thing. All right, now you are running the program. First, I say you are the program writer. All right, a creator of the program, and now you write the program, and the third thing is now you run the program. So to put the first thing first, now you lead. In a family, you are a leader to lead certain things. You need to understand what not need to be done first. It is very very important. It's not about just prioritizing certain things, but as a leader you also have a vision that need to be accomplished first. All right, of course, a family is very important. That is priority has already been given. But now about the accomplishment of your family, because every accomplishment with the family together, uh, that is a success that you want to look at. All right, so you move in an organization. When you go in, what am I supposed to do first? You don't go in and you say, okay, I'm going to settle every problem in the organization. No, that is not going to happen, because in organization there is so much of problem that you need to handle. And do you think, or have you ever thought that I go in, I'm an expert in a lot of things and I'm able to solve everything? All right, probably some of you may know that there are some tools that you can actually prioritize what you need to do. Example like a Pareto chart or analysis. There are many tools to do analysis to understand what is priority. All right, because I was from an organization, a big organization actually, hard disk drive organization, where I did a lot of managing things. So I need to understand how should I manage certain things. First thing first, how should be done first. How do I prioritize certain things? Because why? Without prioritizing certain things, I'm not able to accomplish my task entirely. It's going to be a failure for me if I'm not able to um, understand. And it is also a principle that whenever you have this sort of habit, you will understand that I need to do this first. It's not about rushing. When you have a problem, some people just rush into solutions, rush into certain things. Meaning that if you go to our doctor, and what does a doctor do first? Does he say, okay, since you're inside my hospital or a clinic, I'm going to give you a medicine. Take this medicine away and go away. Are they going to do that? A doctor. The first thing they're going to do is ask you certain question, ask you about the symptoms, and he or she is going to diagnose you first. He or she has to understand what type of problem you have. All right, only then he can give a recommendation what kind of drugs you should take to actually cure you. All right, so that is one example. How about the second example? All right, a lawyer. All right, so if you are in a difficult situation where you require a lawyer, the first thing that you have to do is you need to provide information to the lawyer. And this lawyer is going to help you to identify what need to be done. All right, because now you have told all your problem to the lawyer. So now he's going to diagnose again how should he actually handle the first thing. All right, the first thing is you tell him the problem. All right, next he will prioritize how to manage the problem and give you a solution, or probably even save you from some penalties that you're going to face. All right, similar things. If you have car, if you have driven a car, if your car breakdowns in somewhere and this mechanic comes to help you, the first thing the mechanic asks is, what was the problem? How did it stop? There are few questions the mechanics will actually ask you, and only then he starts to diagnose their problem. So everything or every approach that have, you should actually put first thing first, everything put in the first mind. All right, the jar of life is actually an example what you should prioritize. But again, similar things happen in organization. Without actually understanding what is required or the problem, and you are just rushing into a conclusion. So prioritize what need to be done first, which is a mandatory and is very, very important. All right, so is there any question from the floor, or you want me to address, or should I keep moving on? I'll probably give you about 10 seconds if there is any question for me to answer. All right, so this is an example of a time management grid. All right, it's a table that how should we actually, or which we should manage, focus, avoid, and limit, because everything seems to be urgent to us. What is not urgent? We are very busy every day. We are very busy of everything, and we are not sure what to focus. Okay, let's go to the urgent and important item. You said that is urgent and important deadlines. Example, you have exams. All right, you have a real crisis, emergency, last minute preparation, a meaningful appointment. All right, so these are actually urgent and important, but is it manageable? All right, you have an exam, you know you have an exam. Of course, you are able to manage that kind of situation. Okay, and next, let's go to the urgent and not important. What are those? All right, there are some calls that it may be urgent call, but may not be that important. All right, and you also have emails, and you may also have some reporting work to be done, or maybe there is some people are required to help them to solve certain problem, and also maybe attend some meetings and something else. Yeah, it is urgent, but may not be that important. All right, so this is something that for you to decide which how you should actually prioritize. Next we go to not urgent and not important. Example, social media. um, Visiting social media or Facebook, Instagram, or whatsoever, or maybe watching a movie, you should actually limit them, because why? These are not really value added unless you think that this social media is helping you in certain things. Watching movie, does watching movie really helps you in certain sense? Of course, I'm not saying don't watch movie, but You don't have to sit in front of TV like hours spending time over there. It's totally not required. All right. Okay. Now, what should we actually focus on? All right. It may not be urgent, but it's important. All right. Example: planning. Is planning important? Of course. This is the focus you have to put because planning is everything. Right. Without planning, you actually don't success in life. Let me tell you, my friends. It is the most crucial thing. Planning is so crucial. All right. Next, problem prevention. Do you want to prevent problem from happening? Uh, I believe the answer is definitely yes. All right. You may seems to be it is not urgent, but let me tell you, the moment arises that it is so critical, and at that time you do not have certain skill, then you tend to realize, wow, it was very critical actually. All right. How about self development? All right, developing your skill, developing your knowledge. It is so very important. Um, I was in a session today. I was conducting a session of interview and communication skill. And the trainees actually realized that they are lacking of so many skill because okay, this company was actually going to close down, and the company actually sent them to attend a training, how to attend a interview session and how to communicate. And during my session, I make them realize that there is a huge gap they need to fill up in terms of self development. Most of us get very complacent when you're working very long in a certain company, or probably thought you're self sufficient, I'm good enough in certain thing. But when you do a cross check, you will understand that wow, I'm so far behind, and the gap is so huge that I need to have a self development. All right, so I told them what to do. I actually guided them instead of interview section alone, but actually give them some idea how they should actually have a self development, self learning, because there is a lot of information in the web. Please go and learn new things, how to actually develop self development, and of course attend certain trainings and build up your skill. All right, okay. Next most important thing, being healthy. How important is that to be healthy? All right, let me tell you, my friends, being healthy is the most important thing in your life because you can have anything, you can have all the money in the world, but if you do not have the health to enjoy the money, you are not even able to move anywhere. You're not able to go for any tour, or you can't able to drive a beautiful car, or probably you'll be just sitting in a hospital spending all your luxury money to pay your bills. All right, it may not be urgent, but let me tell you, that is the most important thing, and that is the focus that you want to have. Right. Next important thing, relationship building. Without relationship building, you do not have a network. How are you going to build an empire? Empire is important to be built. Empire is not built in a day. You need to have a relationship. You have to have the network to build, and that's why you build your empire day in, day out. Slowly, you start to build your empire. It is very, very crucial to build an empire, and that's where you become successful. So, my friends, if you look at this table over here, you could probably snap the photos on the time management grid. Planning, problem prevention, self development, health, quality relaxation, and also relationship building is the most important thing, which you may thought or may think that this is not very urgent, maybe important but not very urgent. But let me tell you, that is the focus that you should have. Very critical. All right. Anyone don't agree with me? You could probably give your comment, but for me, this is the most important thing. Trust me, it is the thing that you should focus. All right. So if you have comments, please continue to write down, and I'll try to answer your comments. Okay. So habit number 4 is about think win-win. Okay, so what is think win-win actually? How do I actually think win-win? Do you prefer I'm supposed to win and someone's supposed to lose? How could I have a situation where I win and the other party win? So how could I ever do that? Because in business, it's about who wins and who lose. So the winner gets more, and the loser actually just lose out. In an organization, in a family, do you want someone to lose and you win? Does it make a better place? Does it make the battle much better in that way? Or could actually everyone have a win-win situation whereby you are happy and I'm also happy in that situation? In a family or in an organization, if your colleague actually fail in certain things and you won, would you be able to to work with your friend at a later part? Will it create discomfortness in the organization because you are the winner and your friend is actually a loser? Okay, so this is something that you find very funny because why? In this session, we are thinking about your mindset that you want to have a win-win situation. All right. So a win-win situation is about thinking your opponent, where you want the opponent to win, at the same time support your initiative. It's not about you win, and it's always about you winning. Of course, in a sports, it is a contest that you got to win. But if you help someone else to win as well, let me tell you the share or the pie that you have, you share equally. I have a pie now, and if I'm going to take away the pie, just say if it's a race, who can reach the pie first, and they could have the entire pie, apple pie. So if I'm going to have a situation where I talk to my competitor, all right, maybe I have two or three competitor. So I say, okay, let's run together. The competition is to run. Why not we actually synchronize, run together, and let's share the pie? Instead of me grabbing the pie at the beginning, why not we reach the pie together? And how would this competitor actually look at me now? It is a situation that competitor will be willing to share me more information because he also got the share of the pie, meaning that the pie is now shared equally for three of us, and we are able to win a situation that I have a living things. I can earn a living, and my competitor is able to earn a living. And why is this very important is because in an organization, you don't want to run down a department. Probably in an organization you have various departments, and you are not trying to shut down or shoot down anyone in a personal matter, because you want to make sure that every person that in your organization is a winner. All right, win-win. How about winning a presentation? How about winning a project? Why not you win? It's always you win, and you have a situation, a discomfortness among your colleague. All right, a win-win situation is a real win, my dear friends. All right, a political win. A political win meaning that if the political win is like, okay, let's win together. There's two parties that win together, and let's serve the people. It's not about winning one side and I'm trying to serve the other side, and the other political party is always trying to influence us in terms of, okay, you do the voting to me, and you're not sharing the pie, but instead you're fighting day in day out throughout years. You can see many countries, the political situation is so bad, they are fighting every day. All right, so avoid this kind of situation. Let's share the winning process. Think win-win, meaning that every time you embark on certain things in a situation, you want to understand the situation and make sure the opponent have the equal opportunity to win like you. So don't be selfish. All right, when you win together, there is abundance of opportunity that could be shared among your team and everyone. So work in organization in that way. And remember, my friends, as I said, family is the first priority, and you don't want to win against your family, meaning that if your spouse, you don't want to again win against your spouse. There's no point winning against your spouse. Why not win-win situation? All right, this will actually create a happy environment. You don't want to win over your son, over your daughter, over your mom, over your dad, over your siblings. It is not necessary to win over them. It is about win together. The formula is let's win together. All right, so you have to have this kind of habit or a thinking sense, when you have this kind of adaptability or habit, you'll become a better person in the organization, definitely. All right. These are the four habits that first four habits you want to have. All right. Any question? Are you? I'm willing to take. Okay. I'm also going to look at habit number 5 now. Okay. So habit number 5 is about seek to understand, then to be understood. All right. You can see the baby. Probably the baby is looking at you and roughly could not understand what is this topic all about. All right. Normally, our parents like to decide certain things for us because they said, "Hey, I'm very loving because you're my baby. You're always my baby, and I know what is good for you. You should learn for medical. You should learn for engineering. You should be a lawyer. You should be this. You should be that." But as a person, as you are, you may have a different career, a different dream, but your parents try to fit in certain things inside you. All right, but as a parents, I'm just giving you example as a parents, but not all parents does that. All right, so what I'm trying to say here is, parents is trying to give you thinking that that is best to you, but they're trying to fit certain things. But did you understand your child very well, or do you understand what he or she actually wants to be? What is their dream? Those were the days that it is gone long time ago, whereby the parents say, "Okay, I want my son to become a doctor. I want my son to become a lawyer." Those were the days. This is a Millennium Series. Those people in the work industry now are from already Millennium. Those born in year 2000 now they are in the university, and very soon they're going to start job. They're going to work. And let me tell you, the Millenniums actually their thoughts are totally different from what my generation was, and the generation before that. All right, the generation before that is before me was is baby boomers. So those who are born in 60s are baby boomers. So their mindset and how they work is totally different. All right. So I'm after baby boomers. So I want you to guess which group I belong to. All right. Okay. So our group is trying to understand what is required, what our child required. We understand the situation, and probably we serve and probably prepare what is required to our child. And why I'm giving this example is for you to understand much easier. In an organization, before you could actually make certain decision, as a boss, as a superior, or maybe in a leader, in a section leader, you want to understand a situation first. Don't jump into a conclusion. Don't get excited. Don't get emotional, because human being, when they see when you see certain thing goes wrong, we get concluded, or probably we judge from the page, or from the cover, from the appearance. You judge. When you look at a certain person, maybe you think, this guy looks like a criminal. All right, so you actually judge. Okay, I don't want to hire this guy. Probably he looks like a criminal. He was created like a criminal, but he may not be a criminal at all. All right, so that's where we need to understand. So don't judge people. Don't judge the situation. But you need to understand what is going on first, and then you make a decision. So always ask for the problem first. Listen to the talk first. Listen what people got to say. And normally people don't tend to listen to a younger people, to a child especially, or even the school teachers. Probably there's some teachers listening to me, don't get me wrong. Sometimes the child is something trying to ask question, or trying something maybe unusual, or probably he or she feels not right, or something that you need to clarify. But the teachers actually do not wait until the question is being completed. They jump into conclusion, and they give certain remarks So these are the things that I think you should be avoided. So understand first the situation. Then you don't want people to say, okay, please understand my situation too. No, first you understand first, understand the situation. Then you tend to express what is it. So understand the situation, understand the situation. Then you tend to express what is it. And as a leader, you must be a good listener. So don't jump into a conclusion. Once you have listened well, then you come with a conclusion. Then people will start to understand you. All right, then you will be understood well. So don't demand for things that you are not doing, but you need people to understand you first. So I hope that you understand the situation. All right, you understand the situation. It is very well understood. This is habit number 5 that everyone should have. All right. I'm going to proceed to the next habit. If there is question, please do stop me and ask me. All right. We're going to have a Q&A towards the end of the section. All right. Section number 6. Okay, we're looking at habit 7. Habits. Habit number 6 is synergize. All right. What is synergize? Synergize is something that you work together and you develop results together. In an organization, we normally see there's multiple department or section, and everybody is so concerned about their department, their section, and they're not even bothered about other department. They even, in fact, play politics with different department, or even probably sabotage with different department, or probably they do not actually speak to each other. Um, but let me tell you, your organization have only one goal. All right, the objective is similar. The whole organization have to move with the same paradigm, same vision, same objective, same policy, same mission. Right, everything exactly what a company want. Each individual department has to deliver. Right. So if each one deliver in a separate way, and you do not synergize, what happened? You can't synergize, and you have a different way. Example, I need to travel from one point to another point, and to arrive there, I could actually travel through road, through air, maybe while walking, or through bicycle, through train, through ship, whatever mode. But if everyone understand the destination or where I should arrive, you could probably reach. But now, if I synergize everyone to reach at the same time, can we have a discuss mode of transportation? Let's say, okay, I'm going to use a train to arrive to that destination. Let's synergize this activity. All right, instead of one arriving through air, one arriving through a road, through a bus, through a car, through a bike, through a bicycle, to the sea. But now we have strategized and we say, okay, we arrive together. That means at one point of time, you actually arrive at that destination at a desired time. And the goal and objective is for everyone to reach at that point at a desired time. So what happened is you actually arrived there at that point of time. Is that marvelous? Is that good? All right. You are there at that time. So you are stronger together. Instead of okay, when you said this department is working on the same objective, let me ask you: 1 plus 1 is what? It sounds to be very silly to ask this question. 1 plus 1 is of course 2, but when you synergize, it is no longer 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. All right, 1 plus 1 could be 3, 1 plus 1 could be 4, 1 plus 1 could be 5, because now you have synergized. All right, the power that you produce when you synergize is extreme. It's no longer 1 plus 1, because if you work individually, yes, 1 plus 1 equals to 2, but this one and one actually you combine together, it could be even 11. Remove the plus sign, put 1 and 1 to each other, it looks like 11. So the results that you're going to get is considerably weak. All right, and you want to look at the thing as a totally different approach. All right, it creates a learning opportunity, meaning what? if you have a different knowledge and I have a different knowledge and I'm going to combine, it is not about two knowledge. Probably it will burst out to become a multiple knowledge. When you have multiple knowledge, what happens next? Right, you create new things, you actually create more opportunities, there is more room for development, etc. and etc. So that is the benefit of synergize. So as a person, as an organization, um, if you can adapt from habit number 1 to 6 now to synergize, could you imagine how things could change? How could you develop certain things? All right, it's really amazing. Actually, if you could synergize, and the result is actually totally different. All right, it's going to explode, and you have a totally a good result, a better opportunity to actually develop in your organization as well. All right, so that is about Synergize. I've give you a snapshot of Synergize because we are actually close to the towards the end of the presentation actually. All right, okay. Last but not the least, we're going to talk about habit number 7: sharpen the saw. All right. So what does it mean? Sharpen the saw. Are we going to sharp some saws here? All right. Not exactly. Sharpen the saw is example. Okay. A guy is actually sawing a tree. All right. So he starts sawing and he's been sawing for hours. Right. Been sawing, sawing, and sawing. And this guy come out and see, okay, hey, how long have you been sawing the tree? And are you, how come it's been hours and the tree is not down yet? And he saw, he said, my saw is a little blunt and I need longer time to actually bring down the tree. So how long does it take to actually sharpen the saw? So this guy that I come across and he was laughing at him, can you give me 5 minutes and I'm going to help you sharpen the saw. All right. So he took the saw and he went there to sharpen it. And within half an hour, the tree was down. All right. In terms of sharpening the saw, it's about the knowledge that you have. All right. The knowledge, the skill. Without knowing the skill, if you want to enter into certain industry or certain organization, uh, without knowing that, probably you say, yes, I have attended the training. Without trying it, you actually not able to actually produce. All right. There is a few stages in training. When you attend the training, probably you have no idea what it's all about. All right, that is the first stage of training. And the second stage of training, now you know the theory of what you're supposed to do. All right, so before is from zero knowledge, now you understand the theoretical portion. And the third level is about doing it practically, meaning that now you have the levels 3, meaning from zero, now you have the theory. Third, now you can do the job. And fourth, you are able to do the training now. Right, meaning that you have sharpened your saw, your knowledge, your skill, where now you are able to actually train another individual. All right, so that's where you become a better person. Meaning that if you say that, okay, after attending the training, I'm good now. The moment you say you are good, that is where you are able to train someone else. So in order for you to train someone else, you must sharpen the saw. That means you have to sharpen your skill every now and then. All right. So the effectiveness between production and production capability. How can I make this a company more effective? How can it be more productive? All right. Without this, without sharpening your skills, without sharpening your knowledge, there's no way that you can actually have more productive in the company, or maybe efficiency, productivity. All this come with knowledge. All right, but you have to sharpen those things. All right, so this is something that you have to stress that if you learn something new, please repeatedly do this thing. All right, and what happens is you become a better person. Example, if you are learning how to drive a car, and it's just only first time you drive a car, and you can't be an expert. You can't go to F1 to drive a car. All right. This is the first day once you get a license, driving license, and you start to drive, and you're so cautious when you're driving. You're looking everywhere. You're so panicking. You're looking even for the gear. Where's my gear? And where's my clutch, or maybe my oil that, or even my brakes. Accelerator. So you're looking for everything because the expertise is not there and you are not sharpened yet. But eventually, if you're driving every now and then, probably you're driving for a year, what happens now? You become a skilled driver, and you know without looking at anywhere, you know where's your gear. And you don't even have to look. Now you can actually look at your handphone and driving. It's not a good driving habit anyway, but people tend to do that. Right? People tend to do that. And it's of course you get penalty for that when you do that. So what I'm trying to say here is that when you do certain things, you actually sharpen your knowledge and your skill. All right, so that's what happens. So okay, so with that, I'm ending my presentation. These are the 7 habits that I have for today that I'm going to share. I has already shared. So I'm open for questions now. Right, participant can request. Can write down your questions about the habits that I've already explained. The 7 habits. All right. I'm happy to share with you. Or you have any questions, or how should you actually start with your habits? Is there any queries that you want to ask, or any clarification you need from me? I'll be very happy to actually help you out of it. So I'm glad to happy, very happy to help you out. So please put in your comments. All right. So the question is, what is the most bad habit that people commit nowadays? All right. Bad habits. It is really individual. I can't really comment or commit nowadays. There are many things. Bad habits in certain countries could be different. I can't say that people commit bad habits, because habits is something about a practice which is done every now and then. Bad habits, example, you can say that smoking is a bad habit. Waking up late could be a bad habit for some, but may not be a bad habit for others. All right, so it's very difficult for me to say what kind of habit that people commit. It's really difficult for me to comment, actually. All right, so it is really very okay. Let's see. Why do you willfully, consciously engage with self-destructive habit while ignoring our better judgment? Okay, self-destructive habits. Okay, there could be some background that anyone is doing this kind of habits. Probably they may have a bad childhood life. All right, or their surrounding. Probably they are forced into certain, because some people may not have attention that they're supposed to have, and they end up in certain wrongdoing, and they actually, example like drugs. Probably if you go back to their few years back on their life, and they may have certain wrongdoing, or probably they don't have a proper parenting, and this is something that may result in self-destructive habits. So there's many reasons for that. There's no particular reason. It could be a family background, it could be a surrounding, or it could be even influence. So over here, I'm trying to stress that I don't get influence from people but you have your own destination to go. Especially when I said be proactive and understand what you want, and you have the beginning, the end at the beginning, meaning that you have a mindset. Where do you want to go? All right. So this is what it's supposed to do. All right. So yeah, I hope I have answered your question. How can I fulfill these 7 points of habit? All right, it's good question. All right, what you have to do is I would suggest you to write down, okay, and write down all your weaknesses that you think it is weakness. And I have given you the 7 points already. So start with habit number one. Okay, what are the things that you think you could be proactive in your personal life? Example, if you think that you do not have sufficient knowledge, go and look for it. Go and find for the knowledge that you're looking for. All right. So as I said, the first habit is about writing the program. So before you could start any other habits, please start with the first program, which is writing your program. Understand you are the programmer of your life. So start with that. And continuously you follow up with the second point, third point, right up to the 7 point. So go step by step from habit number 1 to 7. So start fulfilling by that, but start with number one first. All right, program, write the program that you want. Okay, is relationship distract to our vision or goals? I don't think so. Unless you are not focused. All right. Remember that I give you a time management grid. Okay. So you have to know which is important in your life. All right. Relationship, as I said, a relationship meaning it could be your spouse, it could be any relationship, your family relationship. It is not a distract to your vision and goal at all. Unless you do not know how to prioritize them, how to manage them, only then it become a distraction. All right. I do have family. I have kids. I am in every activities. All right. I don't have distraction because I know how to prioritize my job and my family. So it's not a distraction. Relationship is definitely not a distraction at all. How to avoid procrastination? Okay, so how to avoid? I'm not really able to tell you how to avoid. But what we can do is show example of our good habits, and how we carry along, because it is starting everything that goes wrong actually start from us. All right, it's not about who is talking bad about us, it's not about what they think about us, it's not about the organization, it's not about our family, it's not about our surrounding, it's actually about us. All right. So to avoid whatever you want, actually, you have to organize. As I said, you program your life. All right. So you decide what you want to do. So it's not about how to avoid it, but you program what you want. All right. So what motivation can you give to the teachers in this new normal? All right. Very good question. In fact, I'm a trainer myself. And I also do lecturing. I'm a lecturer, I'm a trainer, and a consultant. All right, so I have a lot of challenges of handling this new situation. For the teachers, you need to understand the new norm is about trying to uh, bring across the message to our people, your students, how to give motivation to our student, because you're not sure how the new normal going to go on, and the next 1 year, 2 years, or next 10 years, how things going to be. You really do not have an idea how things going to change, because this pandemic was caught off guard, where nobody was prepared actually for the worst, and this is one of the worst pandemic the entire world is going through. All right, so you have to be staying robust to provide some robust solution to your people. And how do you actually educate your students via virtual? And how do you communicate? Because the next platform now is actually a virtual communication. And how can you actually increase the knowledge of how to use the virtual communication in skill and teach them the techniques and tools. All right, tell the students that this is a new norm and this is a technical things or tools that you got to learn. And the life of our people in the entire world is not you alone, but the whole world is together. So things are changing for better, and probably this is the new norm. And the next generation that born will know that we're going to do everything in virtual. Right, and nevertheless, there's many industry actually gone through virtual long time ago. All right, so keep motivating your students. All right, how can we control our bad habits? Okay, it is you that control your habit. All right, it is purely you control your habits. So now, as I said, you are the programmer of your life. Right, nobody else is going to control you. If you don't want to change, no one can change you. So you have to throw the habits away. What is your priority? What do you want in your life? Do you believe in your life first? All right. If you believe that you can do things in your life, then change it. Throw away your bad habits. All right. That's what you want to do. It's not about how you can control. It's you control. It's not about how you control. You control it. Right. I hope you get the message. All right. If you have several visions in life, what could be one very helpful tip to start working on your plans? All right. Good question. So, what you can do, my suggestion is we want to try everything. We want to be everywhere. We have several visions in our life. All right. So, but now, what is your priority? At what age are you now? And what do you want to achieve? So, I would like you to put all your plans on a paper and identify what matters to you the most. All right, don't talk to anyone else, but you decide what matter to you most. Write it down, and then you work hard on that vision first. All right, you may have 20 vision, don't work on all 20. Let me tell you, everything will go wrong. So put the first priority. What is your vision? Work it on a paper, then you start working on it. All right, that's how you start. That's how you start your plan. Right. Okay, there is a proverb about habit that we are the slave of our habits. Sir, can you please say something about this? All right. Okay. Of course, we are the slave of our habit. That is why I say, practice the good habit and let you be the slave of a good habit. All right. We are definitely slave of our own habit. Can you imagine that we are the one actually programmed, and yet we are the slave of our habit? It is something very funny, correct? But yet, yes, it is very true. It is very true. But we want to be slave of very good habits. This is why we want to create a unique life, a better life for ourselves. So why not be slave to a good habit? All right. Of course, we are because let's say we are slave of certain habit. Example: watching a drama, a movie. All right, and every time the time begins, we are running towards the TV and watching because we have a habit of watching this drama, and we are slave to that kind of desire. So let's break the desire, and let's start to do or be a slave of our new habits. All right, let's do that now. Okay, among the 7 habits you discuss, which do you think is the best to apply in order to succeed? Let me tell you, it's all the 7 habits. But you have to start with habit number 1 first. As I said, you are the programmer. You decide the program. All right, and then second, you write the program, and number 3, you run the program. And how to run the program, as we go through the discussion just now, that is what you want to do. All right, so it's important. All 7 habits is there, but let me tell you, the first 3 habits is the most important one. Once you have practiced that 3 habits, you'll be able to see, okay, what next habit I should do, right? Because this attitude is the best 7 habits that I think every person should actually adapt to. All right, can we move on? Okay, what do you do when you used to love your work, but passion has killed by work-life balance issue? All right, this is a good question, a bit tricky also. All right, so you love your work. Okay, so if you love your work, it is If you love something, that means that should be your passion. All right. But passion has killed by work. Life balance. So what is your passion actually? Are you working? Is your work passion, but or your passion is something different from work? All right. So your passion, if you're working towards your passion, it should not kill anything. All right. You do something that you love to do. Let's do it that way. You do. Um, Most of the people actually do work, or maybe the survey that I know, 70% or 80% people in the world actually do work which they do not prefer at all, by force probably, or maybe by accident, or maybe the surrounding, the environment do not offer the job that you want to do, but you do not have a choice, but you are doing it because out of choice. But if you have a passion, why not? Yes, you do a job which is not your choice, but the passion that you have, why not working it out during a part time, during your leisure time? So let's start with the passion work, and slowly, once your passion has developed better, that's where you have a life balance. So you leave your full time job, but now you do your passion job. When you're doing a passion job, that's where you have to plan what do you want first. As I said, if you look at the life balance or the jar of life, what matters to you the most, right? That has to be the first priority. Let's move on. Any question? All right. So, how can you deal with a colleague with habitual laziness? All right. You should actually tell them to attend this webinar, the first place. And if this person is willing to change, all right, you probably can give them some solution and some ideas. All right, because laziness is something, this kind of person probably does not have a vision or a mission, because laziness is actually an ultimate killer of everything. Okay, so my suggestion is talk to her or him. Things have to be, if you want to have talk to him all the problems that he or she have. I believe laziness is the killer of all success. So probably he or she may have a list of problem. So tell them that the problem is because of the laziness, and it is time to dump this laziness and follow these few good habits that he or she got to follow. All right, is there any more question? All right, how to lose fear and gain confidence? All right. Very good question, Lakshirani, and I'm very happy to answer this because this is one of my core expertise or training a module. Let me ask you, why are you fear? What are you fear of? What are you fearing? You fear of who? Are you fear of a society? Are you fearing of people surrounding you? Are you fear of your boss? Are you fear of your family? Are you fear of car? Are you fear even a ghost? Are you fear of your presenting? What is the fear? Why are you fearing for what? Um, why must you fear in the first place? All right. There's nothing to lose. Life is about gaining certain things. If you are in a fear zone, let me tell you, you will not be successful in no matter what you're doing. Even a simple presentation, you will feel fear. All right. Everything that you do is about fear. Right. The key word for success is losing fear first. There's nothing to lose. Why must you feel fear? Right, what is causing you to be fear? So what you have to do now is analyze, why are you fear? All right, how to lose this fear? Actually, it's a big topic, but now my suggestion is, please list down, why are you feeling fear? And let me tell you, the main thing could be is from your family or your background, because they said you can't do certain things, or they said don't do this, don't do that, and they stop you from doing it. Or your teacher will say from young age, please don't run, please don't jump, please don't shout, please don't do this, don't that, don't this. And this actually build a feeling of fear. All right, that is what happens. How to manage weakness? All right. So managing weakness is something that you need to identify what is your weakness. All right, and why is it happening? Why is it weakness? So is it weakness in your knowledge? Is it weakness in your presentation skills? So you need to identify what is your weakness. And let me tell you, there is a lot of solution everywhere how to strengthen your weakness. So knowledge is one thing, which can actually empower your knowledge. Once you can empower your knowledge, meaning that you can upgrade. All right. Weakness is something that fear is also a weakness. All right. When you fear to do certain things, let me tell you that it will be your weakness because you say if I can't present, why you can't present? Because you do not have confidence and you don't trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, that is a weakness. But let me ask you, if you don't trust yourself, who are you going to trust? Or ask this question. All right. So what I want you to do is please list down your weakness and ask yourself why are you not confident, and go out and catch the knowledge you require. All right. Let's move on. All right, how to deal with a senior colleague who are self-righteous. Why do you want to actually deal with such people in self-righteous? Because probably they thought you may not have sufficient knowledge. How could you actually prove them that you have sufficient knowledge and you are able to handle certain situation, and you're able to actually decide on your own, and you probably want to prove to them that certain things by showing by example, not by just saying okay, you're wrong, you're right, or you're telling certain thing, you're asking certain things. Why not doing it by proving yourself? All right, and the best thing is results speaks a thousand language or thousand things. All right, you can talk thousand and one thing, but what you have achieved, the successness actually speaks for itself. All right, so don't have to worry or don't have to deal with your senior colleagues, but prove yourself. That is most important. All right, how are we going to apply these 7 points of habits amidst this new normal setting of education? All right, let me tell you, there's nothing to do with the current norm. It is totally, I would say, this new norm, or even the old norm, the old way of doing it, or maybe you may have another new norm. It has actually nothing to do with anything. It is habits that you must have, must be cultivated no matter what kind of norm you have. Example, you want to program yourself. Okay, example, you want to program yourself for the new norm. I have to go virtual every time. So now you are setting, it was not in my program before, but now I have to go for virtual training. I have to go for virtual training. Maybe I have to work from home. This is something new home, new habits which you have to cultivate. So now you write a new program for yourself, right? Otherwise, example like working with a team. Working with a team is something you have to do. Working with a team, something you have to strategize. You have to do something, and your vision, your goal. This is all, regardless of what kind of situation you are. This habit is applicable. This habit is applicable, right? Okay, let's move on. How come these 7 habits resulted to develop effective people? All right. If you were to follow these habits, let me tell you, um, it is proven with these 7 habits, because now you have a mindset which is much stronger, and you know what you want to deal with. All right. You want to look at win-win situation. You are a teamwork, and you know exactly where's your destination. Most of us do not know how to get started or where we want to go. We do not have the good habits to be successful. All right, so when you have these 7 habits, if you practice these 7 habits, let me tell you, my friend, um, within a year your life will start to change. Give yourself a chance for the next 3 months to actually develop such habits, and your life will definitely will change. I promise you this. Which should I give priority, salary or family? It solely depends on you. I can't say you should give family. But for me, it is very important family come first normally, because I can lose my salary, but I can't afford to lose my family, because family is everything to me. It's beyond salary. Of course, you need salary to survive, but this salary could be earned anytime, anywhere. It is so important that you have a family, and with the family I would suggest plan yourself to have a strong family bonding, at the same time do the earning. That's my suggestion. How if I do 5 or 6 habits and fail one or two of seven, will I have? All right, if you can do 5 or 6 habits, likely you'll be successful. If you can do all seven, even better. All right. If you can do six, now I would say congratulations, because you're almost there. Because if you can cultivate these new 5 or 6 habits, let me tell you, you'll be able to actually go beyond that. All right. Yes, you'll be definitely be successful in certain ways. Definitely, if you don't even start one habit, but if you have 5 or 6 habit, you'll be very successful. Let's move on. Do you think luck plays an equal important role in success apart from habits? Luck is something that you derive. It's not about, all right. It's not about planning. It's about luck is something that you don't. Luck does not come just that way. Luck is something that you work on. Luck is. I don't believe in luck in any way. All right. Luck is something that you work for it. You determine your luck. All right. Luck does not come by opening a door. Luck does not knock your door in any ways. Luck is something a person for a prepared person. So meaning that you prepared yourself, you program your life, and you are ready for that. So once you are ready, that's where opportunity and luck comes. So there is no luck. You don't say, okay, I'm very lucky today. The luck is waiting at the door front. It's not going to happen. It's you that you get prepared yourself, and that is where the luck comes in. So the luck does not come in, right? It's not habit. This habit is what is going to bring you luck. Um, one point straight away. Right. All right. What kind of practices are supposed to be good for success? I believe I've gone through the habits that you should do. An example, many example I've gone through. Probably, as I said, the very first few things I looked at. Have Do you have a vision first? All right. A lot of people said they want to become successful, but they do not have a vision. All right. Without this vision, let me tell you, you're not going anywhere, because you do not know exactly where do you want to get to. So you must have a vision. You must have a vision. That's the first habit that you need to have. All right. That means you are mentally prepared. All right, you're prepared, you know where you want to go. Okay, and those 7 habits must be practiced. If you practice this habit, let me tell you, success is waiting for you. Success is really waiting for you if you are able to have practice these habits. Let's move on. All right, any other more questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this amazing, incredible presentation. This session will really help our audience to do better in their personal and professional life. Again, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and share your
Sure.
comprehensive knowledge with all of us, sir.
All right. I'm glad that I would be able to share my experience and knowledge. I'm really happy to do that, and I'm happy if many benefit from this session. All right. Of course, apart from this session, we can actually have many other sections, which I'm willing to help the global things. Actually, it's not. I'm of course from Malaysia, but I'm here to help the entire human nation in the world. If I can make someone successful by changing their habit, I'm the most happiest person. All right. So I'm here to share, and I'm always willing to share a lot of more knowledge. All right. Yes, I'm glad to be here. Actually. Right.
Thank you. Dear audience, I would love to thank you all for attending today's session. I hope you learned something new and you will implement it in your life. Thank you so much for being with us. Our next webinar will be held on work life balance. Hope to see you all there. See you soon in our next webinar. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you and bye bye.